General Motors finds itself entangled in unforeseen challenges on multiple fronts. Initially fueled by lofty ambitions to outpace Tesla and revolutionize the electric vehicle market, GM's path took an unexpected detour. As they plan to unveil a dazzling lineup of 12 new electric vehicle models by the end of 2023, a fateful decision was made to halt production of their best-selling electric vehicle, the Chevy Bolt. But that wasn't the only curveball thrown their way. The Biden administration dropped a bombshell on General Motors, unveiling stringent emissions regulations set for the latter part of the decade. Despite previous alliances and commendations from President Joe Biden, GM now faces a firm and uncompromising stance from the administration. In stark contrast, Elon Musk and Tesla appear to be strategically positioning themselves, with ambitious plans to achieve 20 million EV sales by 2030, propelling the global shift towards sustainable technology. The automotive industry now stands at a critical crossroads, with General Motors' once assured path thrown into uncertainty. Today, let's all find out, will GM rise to the challenge and reshape its strategies, or will this unforeseen turbulence mark the beginning of a new era in the electric vehicle landscape? If you like what you see, don't forget to like this video, click the subscribe button, and hit that bell to get notified of new videos. The Joe Biden administration and General Motors have enjoyed a close relationship characterized by significant investments and collaborations. At the outset, President Biden lauded GM CEO Mary Barra for her role in driving the electric vehicle industry's growth, mistakenly overlooking the pioneering contributions of Elon Musk and Tesla in this domain. In response, GM made substantial commitments, investing $7 billion to generate 4,000 new jobs at electric vehicle manufacturing facilities in Michigan. Furthermore, the U.S. government extended $2.5 billion in loans to GM, enabling the establishment of a battery plant in partnership with LG to produce new lithium-ion cells. While this financial assistance has raised criticism due to past losses incurred by the government and taxpayers during GM's bailout after the 2008 financial crisis, the relationship between the Biden administration and Mary Barra seemed amicable. However, a shift in dynamics has occurred as the Biden administration adopts a resolute stance on emissions standards, potentially posing challenges for GM in the latter part of the decade. General Motors expressed apprehension regarding the proposed changes to vehicle emissions rules, fearing substantial penalties for the entire auto industry between 2027 and 2031. They estimated the cost could range from $100 billion to $300 billion, should the revision of petroleum-equivalent fuel economy ratings be enacted. Yet the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA, refuted GM's estimates, dismissing them as pure speculation and inaccurate. The Biden administration has defended its plan, advocating for the preferred corporate average fuel economy, or CAFE, proposal, emphasizing significant consumer fuel savings and reduced oil consumption that would surpass the rule's cost by more than $18 billion. The proposed updated CAFE standards by the NHTSA project a challenging requirement for an industry-wide fleet average of approximately 58 miles per gallon for passenger cars and light trucks by model year 2032. This stringent standard explains why General Motors is pushing back against it. Currently, GM's entire vehicle lineup, except for a few electric vehicles, achieves fuel economy ranging from roughly 20 to 33 miles per gallon in the best-case scenario. Shifting the entire fleet to meet the new 58 miles per gallon standard, as proposed, is nearly impossible for the company to achieve. GM sells approximately 7 million cars per year, and in the last quarter, delivered only 15,000 EVs. This stark contrast in numbers illustrates the significant challenge they face in transitioning their fleet to comply with the ambitious new standards. However, it's important to note that General Motors may be facing consequences for a sensible decision they made earlier. Mary Barra has previously stated that the company chose not to invest in hybrid vehicles, a technically sound choice. Their decision was driven by understanding their customers' preferences, as many consumers did not desire vehicles with two different propulsion systems. Instead, GM opted to bypass hybrids and focus directly on electric vehicles, recognizing that EVs are the future and can eliminate the need for an intermediate stepping stone. Despite this strategic decision, GM finds itself facing criticism for not pursuing hybrids, as their transition to EVs, while in the right direction, is taking longer than expected. Nevertheless, GM remains steadfast in its commitment to electric vehicles, bypassing the hybrid stage and charting a direct course toward an electric future. The current landscape of automotive company strategies regarding emission standards and technology transitions presents an intriguing contrast. Companies like Toyota, which focus on various types of hybrids, seem to be in a favorable position. For example, the Toyota Prius already achieves a fuel economy of 57 miles per gallon, aligning with the potentially upcoming new emission standards for the years 2027 through 2032. With minor improvements, Toyota's fleet could easily transition to hybrids and comply with the proposed standards. GM's focus on electric vehicles might cause them to face significant costs and hurdles in the short term. They have made bold claims that implementing the new standards could cost the industry $100 billion to $300 billion as a whole, translating to $1,300 to $4,300 per vehicle between 2027 and 2031. However, some argue that GM's claims may be exaggerated. As the Biden administration suggests, if we break down the numbers, the costs seem to be distributed over a significant number of vehicles. For instance, if $100 billion is divided by the claimed cost per car of $1,300, it would affect around 75 million cars over a 5-year period, amounting to 15 million cars per year. The issue of emissions standards and the transition to electric vehicles seems to be primarily related to the United States auto market. With the U.S. auto market being roughly 14 million vehicles per year, General Motors claimed that every single car, and then some, sold in the U.S. will be affected by the proposed regulations appears unlikely and exaggerated. If Tesla alone achieves its ambitious goal of selling 20 million cars per year, it would constitute about 20 to 25% of the entire auto industry, representing a significant portion of electric vehicles. Additionally, there are numerous other electric vehicle players worldwide, many of whom sell their products in the U.S., where Tesla is headquartered. This indicates that the landscape is rapidly changing, and the growth of electric vehicles is likely to accelerate beyond what General Motors is projecting. The Reuters report suggests that the potential fuel economy penalties for the auto industry by 2032 might only amount to $3 billion, or potentially none at all. Conversely, consumers could benefit from fuel cost savings of up to $50 billion, leading to a reduction of 88 billion gallons of oil by 2050. Overall, the rule change is estimated to result in a net benefit of $18 billion. General Motors' electric vehicle strategy indeed appears to be uncertain and subject to changes. Back in April, GM announced its plan to completely end production of the Chevy Bolt platform, which was puzzling since the Bolt was their best-selling EV, constituting about 90% of their production. The company seemed poised to shift its focus to the new Ultium platform, intending to build more lucrative and profitable trucks and SUVs. However, this decision was recently reversed by Mary Barra, who now emphasizes that GM will deliver a new Bolt more quickly and at a lower engineering expense and capital investment. This back-and-forth decision-making has added confusion to GM's electric vehicle plans. The Bolt, despite facing past issues with battery recalls, has been successful in terms of sales and affordability. The updated Bolt will be part of Chevy's new lineup with Ultium and Ultify technologies, as GM still aims to transition to producing only electric vehicles by 2035. These changing targets and decisions highlight GM's challenges in executing its goals, hindering the company's progress. As a result, GM is now pushing back against the Biden administration's stricter emission rules, indicating its struggles to meet the proposed standards. Interestingly, GM's difficulties with meeting emission standards might work in favor of Tesla. Tesla has been accumulating emissions credits by assisting other companies in reducing their average emissions through fleet pooling, earning billions of dollars in the process. Despite predictions of these credits eventually disappearing from Tesla's books, it appears that companies like GM and potentially others will still require these credits to comply with regulations, especially with more stringent standards. As a result, Tesla may continue to benefit from emissions credit sales for years to come, potentially for the next decade. By leveraging the emissions credits, Tesla can fund research, development, and expansion of their electric vehicle technology and infrastructure. This allows them to stay at the forefront of innovation and maintain a competitive edge in the rapidly evolving EV landscape. Do you believe that the future of electric car development and regulations will be impacted by the tight links between the Biden administration and General Motors? Tell us in the comments below. And thanks for watching. See you in the next video.